Dangal greetings to all of you. Together with my members, I am Kabuyo Donna May and we're here to present our group final project. Here, we have a class named person with two private fields, last name and first name. These fields store the last name and first name of the person. Now, let's move on to the constructors. The class has two constructors. The first one is default constructor with no arguments. The second one is a parameterized constructor that takes the last name and first name as parameter and initialize the corresponding fields. Next, let's explore the method defined in the class. The class contains two methods. The first method is getFullName, concatenate the last name and first name to form the full name and return it as a string. A second method is displayInfo, print out the person's full name that conclude our exploration of the person class. This class can be used as a fundamental for creating more specific classes such as guest and employee by extending its functionality. Next is the class guest. The guest class extended the person and introduced the additional fields just such as type of guest, reservation, room, counter, ID, is check ID, and is check-in. These fields store information about the guests, including their type, reservation details, and room status. Now, let's move on to the constructors. The class has two constructors. The default constructors takes no arguments and while the parameterized constructor initialize the guest information, generate the unique ID, and set the type of guest. The class include getter and setter method to access and modify the certain fields. These methods allow internal classes to retrieve the guest ID, check-in status, and check-out status, and set reservation details. The guest class included various methods to manage guest interaction with the hotel, such as reservation a room, checking in and checking out, and displaying the reservation details. This method provides functionality for displaying guest information, reserving a room, checking in, checking out, and displaying reservations detail.
Greetings everyone, my name is Renalyn Consina. Next is the class hotel. The hotel class encapsulates various aspects of a hotel, including its name, list of rooms, reservations, guests, and employees. The constructor initializes the hotel with a given name and initializes list for rooms, reservations, guests, and employees. The constructor sets up the basic structure of the hotel, creating empty lists to store information. The class provides getter methods to access the list of rooms, guests, employees, and reservations. These getter methods allow external classes to retrieve information about rooms, guests, employees, and reservations. The hotel class includes various methods for managing rooms, guests, employees, and reservations. These methods provide functionality for adding rooms, displaying room information, adding guests, removing guests, displaying the guest list, adding employees, adding reservations, and displaying reservations.
Dangal greetings everyone. I'm Duran Princess Tavenia and I'm here to explain the reservation. The reservation class represents a reservation in a hotel, storing information such as reservation number, reservation date, association room, employee assisting, and the guest involved. The constructor initializes a reservation with a given date, room, employee, and guest. It also assigns a unique reservation number. The constructor sets up the reservation with specific details including the reservation date, associated room, assisting employee, and the guest making the reservation. The class provides getter methods to access information about the reservation. These getter methods allow external classes to retrieve the reservation number and reservation date. The reservation class includes methods for displaying reservation details and determining the reservation status. The display reservation details method provides information about the reservation, including the reservation number, date, status, guest, details, assisting employee details, and room number. The get reservation status method determines the current status of the reservation based on whatever the guest is checked in, checked out, or if the room is reserved.
Dangal greetings everyone. My name is Sero Jan Marvin. Sero Jan Marvin, and now let's proceed with the classroom. The room class is marked as abstract, suggesting that it serves as a base class of other specific type of a rooms in a hotel. It contains fields for the room number and booking status. The class has a default constructor which is used to create instances of the room class. The default constructor is empty and it is intended to be overridden by subclasses by specific room types. The class includes a method name get with covariant return type. This method returns an instance of same type. Covariant return type allows subclasses to override this method and return a more specific type. The class provides getter and setter methods for accessing the modifying the room number and booking status. This method allows external classes to retrieve the room number and booking status, as well as set the booking status. The class declares an sub, subtract method named getRoomDetails. This abstract method is meant to be implemented by subclasses. It enforces that every every concrete subclasses of room must provide its own implementation for obtaining room details. Next, class standard. The the standard class extend the room class and introduce additional field specific to be standard room such room number, booking status, and room size and room type. The classes has constructor that initialize the specific details of standard room, such as room number, type, and size. The constructor set the room number type and size when a new instance of the standard class is created. The class include a method named get with a covariant return type just like one in the parent room class. This method allow instances of standard class to be returned as a room supporting polymorphism. The class provide getter and setter method for accessing and modifying the room number, booking status, and other room details. This method enable external classes to retrieve information about the standard room such as room number and booking status. The class overrides the abstract method get room details declared in a parent room class. The overridden method provides specific details about standard room including room number, type, and size.
Younger greetings everyone. My name is Kristen Marquez Menos. What is the class suit? The suit of class extend the room class and introduce additional field specific to suit, including the room number, booking status, room size, and room type. The class has constructor that initializes the specific details of suite, such as a type and size. The constructor set the room number, type suite, and the size 40 square meter when a new instance of the suite class created similar to the standard class. The suite class include a method name with get with covariant return type. This method allows the instances of the suite class to be returned as a room. Supporting polymorphism, the class provides getter and setter method for accessing and modifying the room number, booking status, and other details. This method enables to extend classes to retrieve information about suite such as room number and booking status. Similar to the standard class and the suite class also overrides the abstract method of get room details. Declare in the parent room class the overridden method provides specific details about a suite, including the room number, types, and size. Next is the class deluxe. The deluxe class extend the room class introduce additional field specific to deluxe room, including room number, booking status, room size, and room type. The class has constructor that initialize the specific details of the deluxe room, such as room number, type, and size. The constructor says the room number type is deluxe and size 37 square meter when a new instance of the deluxe class created. Similar to the standard and suite classes, the deluxe class includes a method name with a covariant return type. This method allows instances of deluxe class to be returned. As a room supporting polymorphism, the class provides getter and setter method for accessing, modifying the room number, booking status, and other room details. This method enables classes to retrieve information about the deluxe room, such as room number and booking status. Similar to the standard and suite classes, the deluxe class also overrides the abstract method and get room details. Declare in the parent room class overhidden method provides specific details about the deluxe room, including room number and types and size.
My name is Crystal Ann Barayang, and the employee class extends to the person class and it includes fields for the employee's position, reservation details, and a unique employee ID. The class provides two constructors with no arguments and another with specific arguments for last name, first name, and position. The no arguments construct allows for creation of instances without specific details, while the parameterized constructor initializes the employee with a specified last name, first name, and position. The class is the class The class includes getter and setter methods for accessing and modifying employee-specific details. The getID method returns the unique employee ID and the setReservation method sets the reservation details for the employee. The class overrides the displayInfo method of the parent class, providing a specialized implementation for displaying employee information. The overridden displayInfo method combines the generic information from the parent class with specific details for an employee, including ID and position. The class includes a method called displayReservation that display reservation details using the display reservation details method from the associated reservation. This method allows an employee to showcase reservation details associated with them.
Class main. The scanner class is used to take user input, and the date class is used to capture the current date and time. The main method is where the execution of the program begins. A scanner object is created to handle user input. Objects for employee and guest classes are created, representing employees and guests in the hotel. These objects will be used to interact with the hotel management system. The current date is captured using the date class. These objects will be used to interact with the hotel management system. The current date is captured using the date class. The add room method populates the hotel with different types of rooms. The program displays a menu for hotel management operations and interact with the user based on their choices. The program repeatedly displays the menu and executes the corresponding operation based on the user's choice until the user chooses to exit. The switch case the the switch statement handles different user choices and executes corresponding operations. Each case in the switch statement corresponds to a specific hotel management operation, such as displaying rooms, guest list, making reservations, checking in, and checking out. The user is prompted to enter information, and hotel management operations are performed based on the user's input. The code demonstrates the process of creating a reservation by taking user input for guest and employee details, displaying available rooms, making a reservation, and displaying reservation details. The program concludes with a thank you message when the user chooses to exit. The return statement exits the program.